Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author, Matt Adams.
Welcome into the Fairways of Life show, folks. Pleasure to have your company. We are sitting on the eve of golf in the Olympics once again for the third time in the modern Olympic Games. You remember they had it in 1900 and 1904. So this is the third time it is in the modern games, and Xander is looking to defend. I got a quote from yesterday. He was asked about winning a gold in the majors. You know, obviously, I don't know if it's one journalist or if it's the group of journalists that are asking the players the same question. And I don't mean to pose that in a way that I'm judging them, because I like that they're asking this question because it gives good fodder for discussions like this, water cooler discussions. So here's what he had to say about it. I'm quoting. "It's a good question, but it's tricky. Golf was in the Olympics, and then it was out of the Olympics. So I think a lot of the kids were watching Tiger, or if you're a little bit older, you're watching Jack or Arnie, the older legends of the game. You're watching them win majors. It's kind of different. For me, it's very personal. My relationship with my dad, my relationship my dad and I have with golf. A lot of it sort of surround his teachings of when he was trying to be an Olympian. Then the majors are sort of what I grew up watching. They're two very different things to me. I think the gold medal, it's been marinating nicely. Maybe 30, 40 years, it's something that's really going to be special as it gets more traction and it kind of gets back into the eyes or into the normalcy of being in the Olympics. It's so young coming off of, I don't know, what was it? Like 1903 was the last time it was in the Olympics or something like that? Close quote. So that's Xander pretty much echoing the common thoughts on it, which are to say, no, this is really special. This really is special. But we're not going to put it in the same class as a major yet. And I would like to think that the media are asking the question and soliciting the players for the answer, because the answer should not be mandated. It shouldn't be a situation where it could be criticized that for political or commercial reasons that it's being declared as a major. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's always been, to me, it's always been uncomfortable that you have certain tours that declare events as majors, probably for commercial reasons. That takes away some of the legitimacy of it, where the majors that you have, for example, on the men's side of the game that Xander's talking about, his majors that he competes in, nobody declared them one-day majors. I do think that the modern view of the four majors was crystallized by Arnold Palmer, along with that flight with Bob Drum, where they said, no, if you win all four, it's the modern Grand Slam. It's equivalent to what Bob Jones did in 1930, but this is with the, as a professional. Right? Because three of the four modern majors, you still could win as an amateur. You can't the PGA Championship, but the other three you could still win as an amateur. But as a professional, the Grand Slam are. And so I think that was early 1960s. So for 60 plus years, almost 65 years now, we've had a really sharp and clear picture of definitively what the most important events are. And you could hear that and sit back and go, well, when didn't we? Believe it or not, after the Second World War, the Open, this is part of the legacy of Arnold Palmer and what made him so great. The Open was not always viewed as an event that has to be played in. Remember, Ben Hogan went over there one time, 1953. Went over, qualified, which is of note, which I think is cool, and won. Hadn't gone before, hadn't gone since. Remember the famous quote from Sam Snead, riding on the train, looking out the window, and what is this abandoned golf course? Sir, that's the golf course upon which the Open will be contested. Right? So after Great Britain was decimated in the Second World War, because before the Second World War, for many of those formative years, you had the likes of Walter Hagen, who would go over and support. The impact of Walter Hagen on the game has never played out to its fullest extent the way it should be. Because he really defined, he was the visionary that saw and understood what the potential was for someone that could work magic with a golf ball and it becoming a sports and entertainment superstar. He's the one that envisioned it. He's the one, as Arnold Palmer paraphrasing, that moved the professional from a cramped, greasy back office where they're working on, fixing clubs and shoes to being welcomed into the clubhouse, which incidentally Walter Hagen wasn't for some of his march. I think it was Roy O'Troon, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look this up, but I think it was Roy O'Troon. When he wasn't allowed to go into the clubhouse to get changed, he rented a limousine that he parked out in front of the clubhouse, and he would use that as kind of like his locker room because he was sending a message. He was something else, just something else. But anyway, he was a big supporter of the Open. And Gene Sarazen, who was a huge star at the time, was a big supporter of the Open. Obviously, Bob Jones, the aforementioned, was a huge supporter of the Open. In his case, as well as the British Amateur, etc. But as the worldwide depression hit, and that fed into the timing of the Second World War and the destruction of much of northern continental Europe, and then what that meant to Great Britain as the host lands of the Open, then we had a major that was running a risk of falling between the cracks of the pages, of becoming something of obscurity. Until Arnold Palmer had the vision and had the business interest of taking his brand globally and saying, no, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to fight like crazy for this thing. And he did. And following him, they all came. Jack onward, they all came. And it changed everything. And now we have these four majors. So I'm going through all that as just a pretext for these conversations that they're having with these Olympians. And I think it's a really cool conversation to have about where this stands, what it means to win a gold medal, and how that compares to the highest tiers of the game of golf. The one thing that hasn't changed in the discussion is the clarity that the highest tiers of the game of golf are the majors, full stop. Then it's a question of how you compare. And there's always, depending on the time of year and depending on the event, much of this has been, as I was talking about in yesterday's show, much of this has been kind of thrown on its elbow because of what's happening in the game of golf and the inequities that exist now in terms of how players are properly measured against each other depending upon where they play, which is a fault that has to be corrected, and it hasn't yet. Xander was asked about the difference between winning and losing majors, and he said to that, quoting, "It feels subtle. I think since I've been working with Chris, there's been a few answers that he's had. My dad and I talked about it. There's some answers that we need or some questions that we didn't really have answers to, and Chris has got some really good background on biomechanics and has been coaching for a very long time. All really good coaches that I've seen a lot of different things, and they are more likely to have an answer. My dad only has coached me. He was a teaching pro, but he wasn't teaching any pros, really, for that matter, more kids. My dad loves working with kids. That's why, going back to the early part of this, my dad is the, quote, I don't know how far I can take you type. That's why he had that feeling. That's why it's really cool that we're able to make it as far as we've made it. But yeah, I think it's subtle. The changes, and yeah, always refer to, even when I wasn't winning, I said I was going to keep putting myself in position until I got comfortable. I was very comfortable still at the PGA, but surprisingly more comfortable at the Open. I look back now on all the majors that I played in, and the ones that I won and the ones that I lost, and I think they all played a part in my success, close quote from Xander. Now, if you've noticed today, as I've opened this show, and we're now, 11 or 12 minutes into a broadcast that's going around the world, I haven't said his last name yet. The reason why I haven't said his last name yet is somebody yesterday on social media sent me what I'm about to show you, in which he pronounces his own last name. And Andrew, let this thing loop and play, because I want to make sure everybody can hear as clearly as possible how Xander pronounces his last name, because I think for my purposes personally, somebody sent it to me personally, wanted me to see this. Right? I think for my purposes personally and professionally, I think I'm going to change the way I say his last name. But let you guys be the judge. Here you go. Listen to this.
Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Just arrived on site at Le Golf National, ready to defend my gold medal. Hope to see everyone out here. Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Just arrived on site at Le Golf National, ready to defend my gold medal. Hope to see everyone out here. Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Just arrived on site at Le Golf National, ready to defend my gold medal. Hope to see everyone out here.
So to me, he's clearly saying Xander Schauffele. Go ahead, play it again.
No.
Xander Schauffele.
No.
See what you guys
Hey everybody,
think.
Xander Schauffele here. Just arrived on site at
Play it
Le Golf
again.
National.
Play it again. Loop just Schauffele,
Ready to
Schauffele,
Hey
Schauffele,
everybody,
Schauffele.
Xander Schauffele here. Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Just arrived on site at Le Golf National, ready to defend my gold medal.
Do it
Hope
again.
to see
Dom's
everyone
not
out
buying
here.
it. I can see him in my preview screen. He's shaking his head.
Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Just arrived on
Xander
site
Schauffele.
at Le Golf.
I hear Schauffele.
No way. Play it
Xander
again.
Schauffele.
God, just play it. Play it another 10 times, Andrew. Play it.
Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here.
Come on, play it again. Keep going.
Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Just hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele
He's
here.
saying
Just
lay at the
everybody,
end.
Xander Schauffele here. Just
It's just fast. His name is not Schauffele. What are you talking about?
No. Wait a minute, Dom. His name is of Germanic descent. His father is from Germany. His father, as he was talking about, was training as an Olympian when he got in that car accident that cost him his eye and he could no longer compete. His father is from Germany. It sounds to me like he's clearly saying Schauffele. I want to know, what are the people saying about this? What are they hearing?
Matt, you just started talking about it 2 seconds ago. You gave him a chance. Listen, here's the issue I have. We're getting into the weeds very quickly here. And I wanted to get into the weeds about something else.
Yeah, I know. We'll have time.
But,
Maybe.
But, here's the thing. People don't necessarily pronounce their names how they were originally pronounced in their home country, say, a generation or 2 generations ago. Just because your name is of Germanic or Italian or whatever
No,
descent
Tom.
from 3 generations ago,
Let me tell you.
you
Let
don't
me tell
say
you
it
my.
differently just because of
Hold
that.
on a second. Let me give you my perspective from a journalistic perspective. You could your first name might be Bob, B-O-B, but if you pronounce your name Bob, you're Bob. Your name is your name and the way you want it pronounced. For example, like the Scottish Open used to drive me crazy. Worked for Big Network, and I remember being told by a member of management, well, there's one guy on the broadcast team that's from England, so he can call it the Renaissance. Everyone else has to call it Renaissance. And I'm like, whoa, it's owned by Americans, but the name is the Renaissance. It's not called the Renaissance. The pronunciation of the name is its name.
Andrew, play the clip again.
Yeah, play it a bunch of times.
Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here.
Xander Schauffele?
I think he's saying it very quickly, and I think there's a lay at the end of that. That's what I hear.
There's no Olay at the end of that.
I think someone
Wait a minute.
shoved
Play
the
it
phone
again.
in his
Play it
face,
again. Play it again.
And
Play it
they
like
said,
5
do
times.
this thing for social media.
Here you go.
Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here.
There's no way.
Xander Schauffele.
I got to do some research.
You do
I'm
some
sure
research.
I'm sure he's been requested, please, hey, when he was a rookie or whatever, I'm sure some, stupid journalist asked him how to say his name. And I highly doubt he said shuffle.
Shuffle. Shuffle. Shuffle.
Shuffle,
We played it like
right.
85 times. Shuffle.
Okay.
What are the people saying before you go to do your research and try to prove your part?
It's harder to spell than pronounce,
Fair enough.
Derek says. Some of these people are reacting to my question of the day. Shuffleboard. It sounded to me a much shorter E than what we pronounce with a longer French type lay. See, I agree more with that. Rob says, definitely can't tell by that clip. And then John says, he definitely says, Shuffle. Shuffle.
Yeah.
But Derek is hearing an E like me. It's just not a hard lay. But there's an E there.
Where's Derek from?
Basically,
Where's Derek from?
You are wrong. I am right.
Where's Derek from?
That's just. He doesn't say where Derek.
Yes, he
from.
Does.
He says Derek.
I
do you mean
remember
he does?
his name. I think Derek's from Morocco.
He's from
I
Morocco.
knew it. I knew it.
I mean, you knew it.
Because I remember Derek was from Morocco. That's why I'm asking. So it disqualifies him for trying to figure out what.
If the PGA Tour on their media site has a pronunciation guide, phonetics. I might have the answer here. Stand by.
Why don't you see if you can find the video that you were looking for from him saying his own name? So anyway, I just think that there's, Xander Schauffele is one of the. You have the odds? Let's look at the odds and find out what Xander Schauffele's odds are. It's getting hard. It's hard to get used to that. Xander Schauffele is 6-1, which is ironic because the exact same odds as Xander Schauffele. It's Schauffele. It's Xander Schauffele. That's his name. That's how he wants it said.
Okay,
Scotty
I got the
Scheffel.
phonetics from the. Oh, no, I got the phonetics.
Scotty
from the
Scheffel
PGA
is
Tour.
4-1. What?
I have the official phonetic spelling from the PGA Tour. Andrew, I want you to put a graphic up underneath us. Put the bar there. You're gonna type. Ready? Capital Z-A-N. I'm watching Andrew. Yeah. No. Capital. Yeah. No.
Z. you
Capital
say.
letters.
That's X.
Z. Yeah, it's Z. Andrew, it's a Z. The letter Z. No, uppercase Z. It's early, Andrew. Dash
Great start.
lowercase D-E-R. All right, space. Capital letters. S-H-A-W.
Shuffle.
Dash.
Oh, here it goes. Filet.
F-A, lowercase, F-A, dash.
He's out of room.
He's fine. He'll shrink it down. Relax. Andrew knows what he's doing. He can tell the difference between a Z and an X. F-A dash, lowercase, L-A-Y, boom. Shafa lay. Lay. You see that? Look at it. Look at underneath right here. Look at that.
Play him saying it again. I want to see if that matches. I don't think it does.
Xander Schauffele.
Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Hey everybody,
I'm
Xander
still hearing
Schauffele here. Hey everybody,
Yeah, I
Xander
told
Schauffele
you
here.
that someone shoved a camera in his face as soon as he got off the plane.
You
and
think
they're
he
like, "Hey,
you think he
do a social
misspoke
media
his
video."
own name?
No.
Your
I think
theory
he's-
is that he screwed
No.
up his own name?
No, that is not my theory. My theory is your ears suck. He said it quick. They shoved it in his face. He said it so quickly. You're not really hearing the lay part, but it's in there. Please don't go on PGA Tour Live and say shuffle. Okay.
I'm hosting. I think next week I am going to do that. He's not in the
field.
field.
Let's go down to Matt. He's live. He's following Xander all day. I'm here following shuffle around.
Yeah, shuffle is 6-1.
No good. This is the official phonetic spelling from the PGA Tour.
Well, you look at you find me saying how he pronounces his name. Video of him, not some scribe somewhere that's telling me how to say it.
The Sporting News has a different phonetic spelling. The correct way to pronounce
Dom, I
name
don't care.
What do you mean you don't care?
I don't care what the Sporting News thinks about I want him, how he says his name. I just showed you video of him saying his name is Shuffle. And you think that he had some silent E that he mumbled because he was tired or something. He doesn't know how to say his name.
Here we go. Andrew, hold on a second. Stand by.
Right?
Go over the odds.
While he's looking at that, let's pull up the odds again because I do want to see. Because I think Scotty Shuffle is 4-1. Xander Shuffle is 6-1. Is Roy at 8-1? John Rahm 10-1. I mean, you look at these odds and I go down to. I basically go down to Ludwig, where I start to see odds. I'm like, now they're starting to get a little bit. I'm surprised you guys didn't have this planned out. Remember, Andrew, you can't.
Sorry.
You can't play videos directly that he sends you.
Because
of all of the viruses and Dom's.
So I just sent Andrew a video, okay? I found it. All right? And Callaway Golf, early in his career, had him record like a 40-second video talking about his name and how people don't know how to say it. And it's very funny. It's actually very, very funny. Andrew, we're going to play this live. Forgive any mistakes. Go ahead, Andrew.
If it shuts down the whole system, we'll be back with you presently.
Here are some ways my name's been pronounced. Scoffle, Shoofle, Souffle, Scafler, Xander, Shuffle, Lee, Shovel, Xavier. That was actually one of them. The guy never got the words out. My name is Xander Schauffele. I said it wrong. Listen, guys, my name is Xander Schauffele.
Schauffele. Whatever it is,
you know what,
it's not
Andrew,
shuffle.
Here's
it's not
now,
shuffle.
This is a challenge for you. You clip him
Andrew.
saying, my name is Xander Schauffele, whatever he just said, and put that against what he said yesterday so we could try to come up with how to properly pronounce his name, because I think we've all had it wrong forever.
All right, you ready? We got stuff coming in. Ready?
I never got past the odds. Scotty
Can't tell by the clip.
Is 4-1.
He definitely says shuffle. Zand shuffle.
You're reading.
Dom's wrong. What?
You're reading notes from people now, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Brian says Dom's wrong. Matt is right. Rob says I agree with Dom. Ted says he cut off the lay. Derek says Dom, we win. High five. Sorry, Matt, not winning this one. Dom is right.
Right about
Derek
what? What are you right about?
It's funny when they fight. This is a fight?
Right. I'm trying to figure out what you're right about. Tell me exactly what you said that makes you right.
What I said, well, Andrew is panicked trying to figure out how to do all the garbage you're asking him to do.
He's going to shut down the whole system because of your virus.
What I said was that social media video was shoved in his face so quickly that it was hard to hear. He's not mispronouncing. It's just hard to hear the lay at the end. There is an LE at the end. If you listen closely, it's there. He's just being rushed. Play it again.
Well, he's editing, right?
Hey, Xander Schauffele here. Just, hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here.
There's no L.
Schauffele. Schauffele. It's in there.
When you swing-
There's an LE in there. And then we have this other video that we played where he clearly, we can argue about the middle part where it sounds a little bit like he said, he didn't say Shaw, like the pronunciation.
I
according to
can't
the
wait
phonetics,
till
according to the tour.
the
is
one
not
that's
Shaw.
the one
It
that's
sounded more
throwing
like
this whole thing
show.
off right now is Andrew's not editing fast enough.
No.
He's going to shut down the whole system because of your search history.
Listen, guys, my name is Xander Schauffele.
Schauffele. So this is what's interesting there. So without question, there is an LE, like an L, like a lay or a Lee. That is at the end. You were saying it wasn't there. It was. But here's the issue. The phonetics, according to the tour, is Shaw. S-H-A-W. He quite clearly does not say that. Andrew, play it again.
Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Just,
Xander
Schauffele.
Schauffele. Xander Schauffele was yesterday.
Okay. Play the other one. Best you can, Andrew.
listen, guys, my name is Xander Schauffele.
Schauffele. So it's not Shaw, it's Schau. Like S-H-A-O.
That little bit of
Schauffele.
German that you were saying, like, no, Schauffele. I can't even
Play it
say
again.
it. Schauffele.
Listen, guys, my name is Xander Schauffele.
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 Schauffele. Yeah, Schauffele.
Schauffele.
But that's not what he said. Now play yesterday's again. Schauffele.
Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Just,
Okay, so the mystery is not resolved.
Shuffle.
Give me the wisdom of the
What do you
people
mean
again.
not-
I want
I-
to know what they think.
I am pretty confident that Callaway video, this one here, Andrew, play it again. One more time.
listen, guys, my name is Xander Schauffele.
That is a predetermined video. So he had time to say his name correctly.
Yeah, but he said
didn't
it
have a
wrong.
phone shoved in his face when he got
Yeah,
off
go
a plane
back
in Paris.
10 more seconds. He literally said his own name wrong.
The guy never got the words out. My name is Xander Schauffele. I said it wrong. Listen, guys, my name is Xander Schauffele.
Schauffele. I'll tell you what's interesting. Just straight up. Everybody on every channel, everywhere, for years has been calling him Schauffele. Xander Schauffele.
Schauffele. But that doesn't
No one
even
is
match
saying
up.
Schau.
You just did this whole, Andrew, type these letters in because we're going to do the phonetics based upon whoever the monk was that did that. It isn't correct either.
What are you arguing for at this point, Matt? That he doesn't know his own name?
No. How do we
Andrew,
pronounce his
look at
name?
that. Look at Andrew. That's fantastic.
How do we
Look,
pronounce
it's like
his name?
It's like he got his own name right. He's like, Xander Schauffele. I think you should change that to S-H-A-O. Schau. Or Schauffele. It sounded to me like F-L-A-Y. So get rid of the dash.
F-L-A-Y. That'd be flay.
No, Schauffele. That's what it sounded like. Xander Schauffele. Play it again. Xander Schauffele. That's what it sounded like to me.
Xander Schauffele.
Listen, guys, my name is Xander Schauffele.
Schauffele.
It sounded like a little
That's-
something extra that time, like
That's
shuffle.
how it is. What do you mean extra what?
It sounded like there was a letter in there. You're okay with the letter being in when he said the thing yesterday, but today you don't accept it. Hold on. Let's listen to it closely. Slow it down frame by frame.
Listen, guys, my name is Xander Schauffele.
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 Quite clear.
Schauffele. So the only thing
Two-time
that
major champion, gold medalist, Xander Schauffele.
Now go to yesterday's video and do me a slow down frame by frame Zapruder on that. Schauffele. Okay, well, now he's trying to protect the Death Star. That's all we know about that.
That was awesome. I didn't know we could do that.
Yeah.
New things every day.
I think you might want to speed that up just a little bit.
Xander Souffle is easier. He'll be Xander Gold in a couple weeks.
Everybody,
So
Xander
stupid.
Shuffle here.
Shuffle. I knew that's what he was saying.
That was great. Do that again, Andrew. That noise.
Everybody, Xander Shuffle here.
There was no ole at the end of that. That's what I was saying.
Play that again.
Everybody, Xander Shuffle here.
That is fantastic. That is the best. We have to do that with everybody. Do we have some other sound we can do that to, Andrew? Find a clip of somebody, anybody.
Now I don't know what to call him again. He was Xander Shuffle yesterday. Xander Shuffle.
Yeah. Do John Rahm. That's good, Andrew. Play it.
Well,
Well, it's also, first of all, it's my first win since Masters last year, right? So a little bit longer than I would have liked.
that doesn't sound that different.
That is awesome. Play that again. Play more.
Yeah, but you know that John Rahm is not his full name either. His name is
Oh, here it
Rodriguez.
is. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Play that again, Andrew. Play 5 more seconds.
Especially because I feel like I've put myself in position many times during that year.
He sounds like a villain in a movie.
Yeah.
Like with a mat, like Bane from Batman.
I'm Bane from Batman. Some have wondered where I've come from. All right. So anyway, with that, I'm sorry that I did that to you guys, but it was on my mind, and now Dom's really mad, and we used up all the time in the show, so we can't get to any of the stuff that he wanted to get to. Look at him. He's you put Dom on the screen right now. He's brewing back there right now.
No, we're going to go to break and come back. Even if we don't spend as much time as I want
Dom
to, we're gonna do it.
Scaraffle. Say your name, Dom. Dom Scaraffle.
Well, I mean, it depends. If I'm just getting off a plane in Paris and I'm exhausted and a social media manager shoves
It's
the phone in my
understandable
face
that you
and
don't know
says,
your name.
What's
Yeah,
your name?
okay.
I'd be like, Scarano.
Yeah.
I like
yeah,
Paris. That's what I would do. That's what Xander did.
Yeah. Because
At
Dom
least we know
doesn't
how to
even
say
use
his
his
first
full
name.
name. Say your full name.
Domenico.
Say your full name.
Domenico Scarano.
You have no middle name? What? How come I had to pull this out of him like this?
Domenico Francis Scarano.
Okay. Now, I want you to slow that down so we can understand exactly what he says. Andrew's like, the system is about to explode. It's running in the red. The Fairways of Life show is presented by the PGA Tour Superstore. They are the number one golf retailer from coast to coast. The PGA Tour Superstore, Wolfer, is where you can find whatever you're looking for in the game of golf. Swing it, wear it, learn from it, get it at the PGA Tour Superstore, your happy place. Back with more after this.
PGA Tour Superstore pros aren't born. They're made. Every January, hundreds of associates talk to the top manufacturers, learn about the latest clubs, test the newest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together, hit over 100,000 balls, all so they can get you the perfect fit.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous Parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
The Gen 6 iron is a culmination of everything that we have learned as a team, the absolute best golf club I've ever hit. It's something special. Say hello to the new PXG Gen 6 iron. The longest, most accurate irons we've ever made. They go higher and farther than any iron that I have hit to date, and they're so easy to hit. Super excited for the consumer to try these. They're gonna love them.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm gonna go after the PGA Tour.
Playing on the PGA Tour is not easy. But you know what is easy? Hitting the 524 series from Tour Edge.
Hitting linebackers and home runs used to be easy.
Out here, you're gonna need all the easy you can get. Introducing the 524 series from Tour Edge. The easiest clubs you'll ever hit. Even the best players in the world can use a little easy.
I like the sound of that. Look out, PGA Tour.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
Welcome back to the Fairways Life Show. Everyone's still weighing in on this mystery of Xander Schauffele, who's going to be battling with Scotty Scheffel.
It doesn't help that Scotty Scheffler's feet shuffle around like mad. He's number one. Xander Schauffele, whatever. I mean, you got Schauffele, Scheffler doing a shuffle, and they're all together, and they're like 1 and 2, and it's a mess. It's a problem.
It goes back to
I think we should go with Scotty
when
and
people
Xander.
were named after what their job was. Who's the golf coach? His last name is Bonebreaker.
Scotty and Xander.
I don't know what his job was in the
That's what we should do.
Middle Ages, but it sounds like it was pretty intense. Right? So I bet Shuffle means something in German. Like, I don't know.
Good at
Someone who
golf?
works in agriculture or something. What?
Good at golf? Like, it means good at golf?
I don't know if they had golf in the Middle Ages in Germany. I mean, they didn't have golf coming out of the 1940s remember when Bernhard Langer told us that they had to go to some dude and he had a big book because they were trying to help kids like, what is it you want to do? You want to be a plumber? You want to be an electrician? You want to work at a bank? Well, tell me about your aptitude. I want to play golf. And the guy looked through his book. He could not find a profession. I'm not saying people weren't playing golf in Germany by the late 1940s, 1950s, into the 60s. But I'm just saying it wasn't listed as a profession. They were like, what? You want to be a tour pro? What is that?
Andrew, put that thing back up on the screen that you showed me.
It was a good sneeze, Dom. It was good that we got that
Andrew's
on
got.
national TV.
Sorry about that. Andrew's got Schaufele. It's a traditional dish in Franconia in the south of Germany. It is made from pig's shoulder meat, which gives the dish its name, Schaufele, or the pig's scapula. Also,
there we go.
If you go into Google and type in Schaufele
wasn't agriculture, it was
in
farming.
German and ask for an English translation, it says it's shovel. It's the word shovel. So we've got conflicting sources here again. So we've got
that's what we had all day. So it's either pig shoulders or it's a shovel.
It means either. This article, Andrew's highlighting, this does not cite any sources of any kind. This is just all
that's
made
good to
up. Someone just made a page. All right, we should move on. Can we please have the discussion I want to have just for 5 minutes?
To move on to his stuff. Okay, Dom, you tell the world where you want to go now. So explode the internet.
This isn't going to explode the internet. I think it's interesting. So last week, we didn't have time to get to it because the Olympics and all this other stuff we're talking about. But last week, ESPN released what they called their top 100 athletes since 2000. Sort of this generation, the last 25 years. Who are the top 100 athletes? Here is their list. This is their top 8. You can see Tiger Woods at the bottom there. Simone Biles, obviously competing in the Olympics right now. Michael Phelps, another Olympian. Leo Messi, famous soccer player. LeBron James, et cetera, names we all recognize. To the right there are the only golfers in the entirety of the top 100. They have Tiger at 8, Phil at 68, Annika Sorenstam at 80, and they have Rory McIlroy coming in at 93rd. And it got me thinking, Matt, when I saw this list.
Why would
I said,
Annika be 80 when she has more wins and more majors than Phil? I'm not taking away from Phil being on the list, but I don't know. What I'm saying is, why would Annika be so high?
I've got no idea the criteria that ESPN used or how they defined these people on this list. Because you've got individuals, you've got members of teams like LeBron and Tom Brady, and then you've got people like Roger Federer who are competing completely by themselves. It's just, it's hard to compare and contrast without question. However, what it made me think about, because I only think in golf, everything I do is in golf, I thought to myself, interesting. I wonder who the best golfers are since 2000. And then I thought, if we're going to have a line of demarcation, it might as well be Tiger. So I thought, you know what? That needs to be 97. Because in 1997 is when he sort of broke through. He won the Masters and everything changed in golf forever from 1997 and on.
Hold
so
on
I
one
thought
second.
to myself,
I like all this. We'll pick up on it. I want to go back to Annika for a second.
Okay.
70. Tom's like, here we are.
You want to talk about her name? Let's do the phonetic name of Annika.
Hey, listen, Scaraffle. Don't make us slow you down in the slow motion. Annika's had 72 wins on the LPGA. That's third all time. 72. And 10 major championship wins. Right? Phil has had 6 and 45, if I'm not mistaken, or is it 46?
I believe it's 45. No, I think it's 46. Hold on. I'll answer that question in seconds from now. And the answer to that question is 45. 45 PGA Tour wins in his career.
Okay, 45.
And some of those took place before 1997, as you're going way off the tracks already. Haven't even shown anything, but okay.
Well, you're showing us the ESPN list, which is not based, it's from 2000.
Since 2000, correct.
Since 2000.
That's their definition, yes.
Which would make the wins, it wouldn't affect Phil's major championship wins, but it would affect his total wins. Correct. It would not adversely impact the information I just gave you from Annika Sorenstam. So what I'm saying is, why would she be ranked 80th and Phil is 68th? I don't get that. There's only four golfers on the list. When you got somebody that's won 72 times compared to 45 and 10 compared to 6. The only thing that I can imagine somebody coming up with, which I reject, is them saying, well, she was competing on the LPGA and he's competing on the PGA Tour. How can we compare those two? Because you compete against who you compete against.
So, for whatever it's worth, this is how ESPN contextualized their list. Voters were instructed to consider, this is a quote, voters were instructed to consider only an athlete's performance since 2000. And then they gave some examples. That's it. That was their barometer. So with that as context, I changed it because I wanted to talk just about golf. I changed it to 1997 with that line of demarcation being Tiger Woods and thought to myself, all right, who's the best golfer? I don't know if you want to say this generation, like last 25 years plus, But since Tiger burst on the scene, who are the best 10 golfers ever? And I put together, we have a couple graphics for you, but this is one of them. And I think everybody agree. Everyone watching right now will agree. It's impossible not to agree. Tiger Woods, far and away, quite clearly, number one.
All right, so this is the best men's golfer since 1997.
Correct. Now, keep in mind,
I don't think anyone argues with the first two.
So Phil is 45 wins, we just talked about, but only 36 of them came since 1997. Now, all of his majors came after that date, so that's why they're listed there. But I think very quickly, Matt, to go past the Tiger, because Tiger is quite clearly number one, one of the reasons I wanted to discuss this is Matt and I were actually arguing quite a bit. We can barely get past number 3 on this list. It's very hard, especially if you throw in a few other kinks and some other graphics that we have to get. I mean, I think Phil is probably a solid number 2, but it depends how heavily you weight the major championships. It depends how heavily you weight longevity and consistency. Like Rory McIlroy with 25 wins, he has even more than that if you consider his European Tour wins, and he's been doing it since he burst on the scene in the mid-2000s. Pretty much
you should
every
consider
year he's winning.
all wins. I mean, when you look at to me, we're talking about criteria that's just wins, correct? Just wins. You're not talking about impact on the game. You're not talking about anything that's outside the ropes. We're talking about wins, correct?
Performance.
Performance. Right. All right. Fine. All right. Fine. If you want to, because now maybe that.
Well,
takes
if you have
performance.
150 second place finishes and 50 wins, that's pretty good performance. So
okay,
it's
if that's included. But what I'm saying is that the hierarchy of wins in the game of golf, to me, is black and white. Number one are the majors. That's it. Far and away, number one are the majors. And since 1997, it may get a little bit gray in terms of opinions of how you weigh, say, a win on LIV versus a PGA Tour. But since 1997, because there's a longer period of time, number 2 is PGA Tour wins. So you go majors, PGA Tour. I don't know where to put LIV wins yet in the balance. I'd be curious what people say. So would you put a LIV win above a DP World Tour, formerly called the European Tour? If not, then the European Tour's third. Right? Do you include performances in international team competition or, say, Olympics, Ryder Cup? Does that matter? And how do you judge it? By individual records, or do you do it by team performance? Right? So let's just say, what? Did you say something to me?
Of course you got to include team. Yes, of course you got to include team performance. I'm not saying it I don't know how it's weighted, but of course yes, of course.
Okay. But what I'm just trying to get a sense
order
of
merit wins.
I'm trying to get a sense of this. If you're trying to build a top 10, if Andrew Rafel is going to put together, if he's going to start typing a list, top 10, I think we all would agree that number 1 is Tiger, number 2 is Phil. Now we have 8 more spots to fill, and the questions start to roll. So go ahead and put that list up there again. And Dom, I am going to ask you because I think all wins need to be considered. So if we're talking about number 3, on your list, you have 31 wins by Vijay Singh and 3 major championships. How many non-duplicate credit victories does he have on what was then called European Tour?
He has 3 additional European Tour wins. He also has 4 additional Asian Tour wins.
I didn't talk. I didn't. Hold on a second. Let's be consistent here.
Wins.
I didn't talk about the Asian Tour because I didn't put it in that hierarchy. It's going to be somewhere below, right? So for this discussion,
yeah, but
we were
4 wins on the Asian Tour has got to be worth a half a win or something like that. And if all the Champions events are also a half a win, That's 9 additional wins globally.
When
So
you
what-
say
that's
half a
worth
win,
something.
you're trying to put together a formula that weighs victories someplace else and how do they compare to a PGA Tour?
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just having a conversation.
Well, what I'm asking is because Colin
if we're
Montgomery said a
talking
major
about-
is 8 wins, and all of a sudden that became a standard, right? We were talking about it yesterday.
Do you think that's fair? 8 wins for a major?
God, that could be your question of the day right there.
Well,
Which,
my
by the
question
way,
of the day.
did you do
I'm
one?
glad you asked. Well, I'm very on top of things today. After Tiger and Phil, who is the best golfer since 1997? Brooks Koepka, Roy McIlroy, Vijay Singh, or write-in? As a write-in. I got to have a write-in option. And it's split, Matt. 21% wrote in, and I've got, people were writing Bryson and some other things, and someone wrote VJ, or not VJ, it was, hold on, let me find it. There was another name that was sticking out to me that someone said, there's a lot of stuff coming through. We appreciate it. Ernie Els. Someone wrote in Ernie Els. Vijay Singh has got 14%. Rory McIlroy is actually the clubhouse leader right now, 34%. And Brooks Koepka is at 31%. That's interesting that Brooks Koepka is so high on that list. 34% and 31%. Brooks Koepka has obviously 5 major championships, of course. Yeah. But globally, in terms of his number of, just winning golf tournaments, he's not won very many golf tournaments. He's just basically won majors. And the weight of that is interesting to me. If he's got, you've got Rory on our list, he has got 25 wins. Those are PGA Tour wins. He has additional wins
you can take it, Andrew.
on the European Tour, and there's a lot more of them. So he's over 30 wins where Rory is. And he
but
has
again,
4 majors.
when we say European Tour wins, we're netting out the wins that have already been counted that they're co-sanctioned, whether we're talking about World Golf Championships, Scottish Open, majors, etc. So we net it down to those wins that are independent of that. And Rory came up to what?
Correct.
What was his number?
2, 3, 4, 8, 9. So he has 9 European.
So
Tour
Rory
wins
has
that are
34 qualifying wins and 4 majors. Not and 4 majors. Those 4 majors are included in the 34.
So where do you put
know.
VJ?
See, VJ at 31, and then he had 3 more qualifying outside of it if you did DP World Tour. I'm not counting the Asian yet because I don't know where to put him. So that would be 34. They'd have this same number of total wins.
Well, what about the Champions Tour wins and the Champions Tour major? That doesn't
I don't know how to. Again, I'd put
VJ?
that in the same class as Asian Tour. I don't know how to judge that. Do you view, for example, if we want to throw everything asunder here, how do you judge Bernhard Langer, who won 12 Champs Tour majors?
So this is how, ironically, this is how I started my conversation with Matt this morning. I said to Matt, I think Bernhard Langer needs to be number 10 on this list of performance since 1997 professional golfers. And the reason I say that is he redefined, performance for a senior golfer. In that entire span, he's won 46 times on the Champions Tour. He broke the all-time wins record. He's got 12 majors on the Champions Tour. He also, by the way, won a few European Tour events still since 97 that you could throw in there if you wanted to. But I think if you're talking about performance inside the ropes, you're talking about performance on the golf course, his performance has been insane. Now, given it's not PGA Tour wins, it's not major championships like you're defining them, but for a senior citizen, he's redefined what it means to play golf when you're, quote unquote, past your prime. And I think he's reset the dial. I think now when you look at players like Padraig Harrington and Steve Stricker, who are going on to play the Champions Tour and starting up when they're 50, 51, 52, Stuart Sink, they're saying to themselves, you know what, maybe I can do this for another 15 years. That's because of Bernhard Langer and what he's done. So I actually think he should be number 10 on that list with what he's done. Maybe you disagree, but I still think it's worth talking.
I don't know if I disagree. Again, it all comes down to, all of this conversation comes down to this. How do you find a standard? So you could do it. You could do a judgment like this. And again, I default back to Montgomery because I don't know anybody else that ever gave us a number. And if he said, yeah, major's worth 8 wins, okay, what's a senior major worth? If Bernhard Langer's won 12 senior majors, is that 4 PGA Tour wins? I don't know how to judge it. I don't know what you call that. What are the people saying, Don? Well, let's get some guidance from the best in the world.
All right. 33% Roy McIlroy, 30% Brooks Koepka is moving around there. 17% now Vijay Singh. Still got folks writing in. Some of these people are responding to the ESPN survey. Annika should be equal to Serena. I agree. That's ridiculous. I actually picked Rory because of his FedEx Cup and European Tour Order of Merit wins.
He's what? He's won the FedEx Cup 3 times, the race to Dubai, 5 times?
Let me confirm that. But yes, I believe that's correct. FedEx Cup 16, 19, 22. European race to Dubai, as you call it. That's their FedEx Cup. 12, 14, 15, 22, 23. So that was 5 times. Yes, correct. And it's even more insane when you look at 2022 when he won both of them. That's crazy.
And he's done that multiple times too.
That's insane. All right. 4 majors, 3 FedEx Cups, 5 European Tour Order of Merits. That's got to be Rory. So it's interesting. Everyone's putting Rory almost locked into that 3rd spot. We're getting a lot of people locking Rory into the 3rd spot.
Even though Rory is one less major than Brooks.
Yes. Well, that's what
because
they're saying.
Because of the weight of everything else.
What I'm saying is it's really interesting when you consider, I would say the last 12 months with everything that's been going on in golf, I feel like Rory's been taking a lot of flack in the last 12 months. And he's been looked at, there's been a negative lens sort of around him. And that's interesting if we're considering what we're talking about now. ESPN's list is ridiculous. Michaela Schifrin isn't even on the list. That's a very famous United States skier who's got hundreds of wins and broke every record that exists. It's interesting. This whole thing is interesting. I mean, are you?
I definitely think. I mean, it's a separate conversation to judge the ESPN list because I haven't seen it in its entirety. But they definitely messed up Annika. That makes no sense to me. The only thing that I can imagine there is a gender bias. That's the only thing that I can see as to why she would be placed where she is, because otherwise it makes no sense.
It's very difficult to judge the performance of a team sport versus an individual sport. So it's very hard to say Roger Federer is better or Leo Messi is better. It's just so different.
You know, because we're in the Olympics right now, in the middle of the Olympics right now, one good way to judge an athlete that rises above is if they have something named after them. Right? Simone's got moves named after her. Tiger's got the Tiger Slam. I bet we could keep going through the list and you could come up with stuff that these different star athletes have. There's another way to judge
Probably.
There's the first name judge.
Yeah. Yeah, the first name judge matters. Like Serena, Messi, LeBron. Everybody knows who you're talking about.
Well, you did one.
I mean, it is insane. It is insane to think about. You just say a person's first name. Think about how many first names there are. There's probably
if you were having a heated debate, you're in some pub someplace having a heated debate about
one person.
Right, you're having a heated debate about basketball, and you said the tops of all time was Michael. Nobody would say Michael who, right? It just doesn't happen. Even though Michael's a very common name, you're like, no, Michael was the man.
Andrew, go back to our list. So if we're settling on Rory for
yeah, all right.
I am looking for focus. Right. We're settling on Rory for 3.
Scaraffle.
So
if we put Rory 3, then
so now is it VJ or Brooks?
Right. That's what I was just going to get. You took the words out of my mouth. And you've got VJ with, we said 34 qualifying wins. That's 31 on the PGA Tour, and then
he's at 16% in my question of the day, by the way. And Brooks is at 29%. You want to give the people that? So let the people say it's Brooks. So it's Brooks.
What was it? What's the number? What do they say?
Brooks is 29%. and VJ's at 16%. So the people are saying by almost not quite, but not quite
Dom, let's be
double,
fair
they're
about
saying,
something
look,
here.
It's Brooks.
And that could be the way to go because he has 5 majors to 3. But let's be fair about something here. You haven't told us what Brooks has and wins outside of the 5. I know he's a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour. I know that he cut his teeth on the Challenge Tour, which I'm not counting for my purposes right now. But what he did with qualifying events that aren't double counted on the European Tour, now called the DP World Tour.
He won one other event on the European Tour that would count towards this, so that's one more win. He won 4 times on the Challenge Tour. I don't know if you count that.
I'm not.
And he's now won 4 times on Live Golf Tour. Again, I don't know where you qualify that. And technically speaking, he has 9 PGA Tour wins.
Minus
so if
the
you
5.
want to add the European Tour event, that's...
Well, you got to minus the 5
10.
from the 9 because you've already counted that as 5 majors. So he has total wins. He has 13, 14 plus Live. He said, how many did you say has it Live? 4?
He has 4 Live Tour wins.
Okay, so if you counted them, that'd be 18. Andrew, put up your graphic again. Again, I'm not sure. You guys tell me where you want me to count or where you want his account live. Is it counted the same? Now, it's to get past the top of those fields, it's a bar fight. So that would put him 18 against VJ's 31, but he has 2 more major championships. And we were talking about this yesterday. Even if you looked at the differential of 2 more major championships, there's not 90 humans that have ever lived that have more than 2 or more major championships. VJ happens to be amongst that number, but he's not at 5. I think the people have it right.
Well, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 people on the planet Earth that have 5 or more majors, and Brooks is one of them.
Yeah.
And that's ever in the history of the world. And we're talking about just since 97. I don't know. I feel like Brooks is a pretty solid 4 now.
It comes down to how you judge. I mean, if you did it based on the Montgomery doctrine, that would be he would have 40 wins.
Extra 16 wins.
No, he'd have 40 wins because each of those 5 each one of those 5 is times 8. So we'd have 40 right there. Plus, you came up with another, how many? 18 was it? Outside of that? No, you gotta net the majors out of it. So it'd be 13. He'd have 53.
4 Live. 1. That's 5 plus. I think it'd be something like that.
And VJ would be at 34 minus his 3 majors would be 31 plus 24 would be 55. So if you're using the strict standard of what I'm calling the Montgomery doctrine, VJ would have 55 wins to Brooks's 53. That's why this is so hard.
No, Brooks, no. I think we did the math wrong. Brooks would have 49 wins. I mean, unless you're counting Challenge Tour wins and Japan Golf Tour wins.
No, all I did was I took 18 minus his wins. I took out his majors. That would leave you with 13. 13 plus 40 is 53.
No, because he has 4 Live Golf, 1 DP World Tour. That's 5, and he has 4 PGA Tour wins. That's 9. So outside of the majors, he has 9 wins.
Oh, okay. So it was less than what I thought. So that makes it even
it'd be
more
49.
That makes VJ even more separated based upon that criteria. But again, because majors are the highest standard of the game, I'm not saying anybody's wrong. What are the numbers changing while we're talking at all?
They are changing. For me, it's Brooks at 4, they're saying. Brooks is 31%, VJ is 16%. It's creeping towards double. So we're going to call Brooks Brooks 4, which
Okay.
puts VJ solidly at 5. Andrew,
Does
make
it
a
put him
mini
solidly
graphic
at
so we
5?
can
Put
keep
our
track here.
graphic up there again. Let's find out if there's anybody
Rory,
else.
No. Rory is 3. Brooks is 4. VJ 5 right now.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
All right, let's take a
Brooks,
break and come back and
VJ.
continue this conversation. More of the Fairways of Life show coming up, folks, right after this.
I got ball fit in 2000. Went on a little run. Then Bridgestone fit me again, and I went on another run. I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
I think when you're training for other sports, or why most people go to the gym is so that they can have muscles and be strong and be healthy. And a lot of the reason why they struggle to play golf is their body doesn't move properly for them to be able to hit a golf ball. And when you're training for golf, it's a little bit different because you're focused more on flexibility and mobility and being strong in motion. When you're able to kind of have a warm up and have a workout routine and kind of gradually build up to where you're training your body to move properly, yeah, you're going to get a lot of big dividends on the golf course.
PGA Tour Superstore pros aren't born. They're made. Every January, hundreds of associates talk to the top manufacturers, learn about the latest clubs, test the newest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together, hit over 100,000 balls. All so they can get you the perfect fit.
What if we started a company and the company was under no time constraints, no financial constraints? The one constraint is their clubs had to be exceptional performers and much better than any other alternative. I was told time and again it'll never work. It worked like a house of fire. And I'll tell you what, I think our customers love it. BXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Stride by Zero Friction, the first of its kind personal caddy. Walk in comfort and style with Stride's remote and follow me technology. The Stride handles almost any terrain, and its 54-hole range will last all day. The lightweight design and removable front wheels makes it simple to handle. Plus, it easily fits golf carts. Pick up your Stride today at a local PGA Tour Superstore near you or at zerofriction.com/Stride. Stride, your personal caddy.
Hey everybody, Xander Schaffel here. Just arrived on site at Le Golf National.
Xander Schaffel. There you go. Welcome back to the program. Dominic Scarafel is with us here today. Andrew
I'm
Riffle.
here. I am here.
All right, so where are we at in this list right now? Who have we seemingly come up with since 1997, which Dom is defining as the modern era of golf right now? Tiger Woods being number 1. And then what we should do next to that, Andrew, which is the hardest thing because we've been throwing numbers around. What are their wins? You don't need to do it right now. Maybe we'll do this later on. But because we're coming up with different
win totals?
Well, the wins you illustrated, show us the other graphic. The wins you illustrate were PGA Tour. And there's other golf. And we're trying to come up with a number to say, okay, since 1997, how and where do you put everybody?
Well, here's where it gets complicated. If we've gotten through our top 5, this is where it gets dicey and fun and confusing. I think the next 4 names in contention for number 6 are Padraig Harrington, Jordan Spieth, Ernie Els, and Dustin Johnson. All of them have more than 2 majors. Or they have 2 or more majors, I should say. And all of them have double-digit wins. Now, Padraig Harrington's wins, Andrew, you can put that other graphic up that's got Padraig's info on it, because Padraig's info is a little bit mucked about. So you can see there, he had 14 wins on the DP World Tour, but 15 total, 14 during 1997 and on. But he's also got 8 Champions Tour wins. He's got 3 PGA Tour wins. He's got double-digit global wins.
But
and he has
wait a minute. Now,
3 majors.
We got to make sure we qualify this. His 3 PGA Tour wins are his 3 majors, are they not?
No. Incorrect.
He has 3 wins
the
outside
Honda,
the
Barclays. The Honda twice and the Barclays.
Okay.
So that's 3 additional PGA Tour wins.
The 14 European Tour wins, how many of them are counting double? So we net that down. How many? What? So it's 11.
Just the 3 majors. So it's 11.
So he has 11 that qualify from the European Tour, 3 additional that qualify from the PGA Tour. That's 14 if, for argument's sake, we're weighing the European Tour the same as the PGA Tour, which some people would have an issue with in terms of depth of field. But for the discussion purposes, that'd be 14. And then we haven't decided what we're going to do with Champs Tour.
I
if
think
that
a
should
half
count
a
at all.
win is. I think it should count. I mean, I think Bernhard Langer should be 10 on this list. So I think it should count. So call it a half a win. So he's got 8 Champs wins. That's 4 additional wins.
Well, how many of
Global
those
wins.
8 Champs wins are majors?
1.
And do you count a
You wanna count
senior
that as a
major
regular
as
win?
1 PGA Tour win?
Fine. I'm comfortable with that.
That'd be 9.
So that's
or 8.5. Now we're 8.5.
no, it'd be 5 wins. 8 Champs wins would be 4. Champs majors is 5. Plus what did you have? 14? We suck at math.
I had 14.
So he's
I
got
had 14.
he's got 19, 20, wins, global wins,
All
and
right, so
3
I'll
major
give him
championships.
credit for 19. Let's keep this going as we're trying to figure this out. This is not easy to do because you're making a judgment
No,
as
it's not. It's not. You've got, so Andrew, put up the not our list, the list of wins. Yeah. So Dustin Johnson's at 24, and he's got 2 majors. He only has 2 European Tour wins that would be additional, and he's got 3 live wins. So he has 5 additional wins, depending on how you weight
that
them.
qualify. They're not not double counting.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So he'd be 29 and 2.
So he's got.
Padre
he'd
would
have
be 19 and 3.
Yeah, I mean, but again, in that 24, you count his majors. So if you're subtracting majors from wins and counting them separate, then he's got something like 28 wins and 2 majors.
It would be 27 if that's the case. 27 and 2 versus 19 and 3. And then Jordan
That's
has
hard.
13 wins on the PGA Tour. And how many of those are double counted does he have any European Tour wins independently? I can't think of any.
He won. Is the Australian Open co-sanctioned?
It's co-sanctioned with the European Tour.
He won that twice.
That's a big deal. So that would be wins that would count. So he would be up to 15 minus his 3 majors. He would be 12.
So he has 12 wins in 3 majors.
So in that criteria, go back to our master list here now, Andrew. So under that criteria, Dustin Johnson would be number 6.
You comfortable with that? Wait a second. We didn't do Padraig Harrington, did we?
Yeah, 19 and 3. And that would mean that, well, the one we didn't do was Ernie. Let's do Ernie.
Ernie has, go back to the other list, Andrew, because some of his wins took place before 97.
Okay.
So Ernie has 16 wins, And remember, one of Ernie's, actually that changes things. One of Ernie's majors took place before 97.
All right. That's your
Which is
criteria.
why he's not in the major list.
That's the parameters you set. So what's his net?
So his net is that number there, 16, and that includes only 2 of his 3 majors.
And does that include any European Tour wins? Because he was an international player down in Australia, anything? Co-sanctioned.
No, but he's got a lot. He's got 22 major, 22 minus 3. He has 19 additional wins on the DP World Tour.
19 additional?
Yeah. 19 additional wins.
Okay.
That's a lot.
That is.
So that's 35?
So if you did that, he has 4 major. So he's going to replace. He's obviously going to replace DJ. Ernie's next, because he has 4 majors. Oh no!
Yeah, but one of the majors doesn't count.
I got it. I forgot that. Why didn't you have him on your list?
I mean, it
though?
counts, but why is what?
You have VJ, Podrick, Jordan. You don't even have Ernie up there.
Oh yeah, that's a mistake. That is Ernie's supposed to be under Jordan. That's fine.
All right.
So
we
Ernie's got 3 that took place
wins,
after 97.
And then what'd you
3
say?
majors.
35 qualifying victories outside of his majors.
Yeah, I think so.
And that doesn't count whatever he's done. I know he just broke through in the Champs Tour, whatever. But
correct.
So yeah, I would
Do you
say
think it's Ernie?
I think we go back to the master list there. And to me, Ernie
We do
would
Ernie
be,
and then Dustin,
and then DJ, and then it comes down to the battle of I haven't decided on Bernhard at number 10. We'll go through the math for him too. What are the people saying, Dom? People agree with this yet?
Well, they're saying, guys, can you stick in order? We're jumping around now. Ernie has 4 majors. I know he has 4, but we're trying to stick to 1997 and after. And his first major was in like 93 or 94. DJ is 5th for me. Where do we put DJ? 7th. Interesting. Man, Andrew needs some beers after this. You guys owe him some beers. That's probably true. All right, let's see. 30% Brooks, 30% Rory. VJ's at 15%. Where are you guys going to put Langer in all this? Question mark, they're saying. And then there's still some guys arguing about disliking the ESPN list because the way they structured it.
What about
all right,
Schaufel?
go back to the other list, Andrew. So we only have a couple names left. After Dustin and Ernie, so I think it's probably either Jordan Spieth or Padraig Harrington, correct? Because of the weight of majors? That's what's left.
Yeah, which would be Padraig Harrington because the weight of he's older and the weight of his entirety of his career with wins. Because Padraig, I believe we had him at 27-2, and Jordan's 13-3.
No, Padraig. I think all 3 of Padraig's happened in the 2000s, so he's got 3 majors.
Oh, 3. I'm sorry, I forgot it wasn't before it.
So
it's
put Padraig next on the list, Andrew, and then put Jordan Spieth, and then there you go. That's our list. Now you just have to. We just have to argue about Bernhard at the end there.
Well, let's do
I
the
think he
math.
should be.
Let's do the math on Bernhard. He's 2-time major champion.
Yeah.
How many? I mean, his European Tour wins are out of this world. He's like, I think 5th all time, if memory serves me, in European Tour wins.
He's 2nd.
2nd, even better.
But his majors happen in like the 85 and 93. They don't count.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that counts is his senior tour career.
Okay.
So 46, if it's a half a win, is what is that? 23 wins, and if the majors count as a regular win,
he's got 12.
He's got 12.
So
although you have to take the 12 out of the 46, right? Yeah, you do. Hold on.
Yep. Come on.
6 minus 12. So 34 divided by 2. So 17 plus 12 is 29. So his number would be 29 wins. That would be with no majors, quote unquote. Go back to the other list, Andrew. The big boy list. There you go. So if he's at 29, right? Now who are we arguing about here? You've got Justin Thomas, Furyk, Scott, all these guys that have half as many wins, but they do have more majors in that space of time. Because after 97, you've got a pile of guys with 2 majors. And you can even see there on the bottom, JT, Rahm, Bryson, Xander. Now you're talking about the current active players that are impacting the sport. But none of them have 29 equivalent worldwide wins.
We don't have anybody in the game right now that's prolific at winning but not majors. We don't have a current Colin Montgomery, for example. Right?
Not really. I think the closest person to that would probably be Matt Kuchar, maybe? What does he have, 11 wins? Let me look that up. I mean, not that he should be anywhere near this list. I'm just saying.
14, if memory serves me.
He has only 9 PGA Tour wins.
Wrong, then.
Yeah. One on the Nationwide Tour. He won a bunch of silly season events. He won a Japan Tour event. So he has 18 professional wins, but no majors. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So where do you stand when you're comparing like Justin Thomas with 15, 16? You know, he probably has a couple wins in Europe because he's played in a few events like Saudi, some of the Saudi international events. So he has, say, 16, 17 wins, but he has 2 majors. How do you compare that if I'm arguing for Bernhard Langer, who's got,
how
by
many,
our numbers,
how many
20-something
wins,
wins?
How many wins does JT have? 15. And 2 majors. To me, that would put him in front
and
of
the players.
Bernhard. Sorry.
I don't know what the players count for something. We can
Right.
talk about that, but yeah.
But to me, that would put him in front of. I love Bernhard, but when you're talking about someone with multiple major championships and a stout record of wins with 15. Now, maybe the argument would open up and go, okay, well, if you're going to do that comparison, let's compare players with 2 majors and how many total wins. Like you said earlier, somebody said Bryson. I'm not opposed to. We're not talking about this list in a year from now, or 2 years, or 5 years, or 10 years from now. We're talking about it right now, and Bryson just doesn't have enough total wins yet because he's in that category with all these other guys.
9 wins, 9 PGA Tour wins. Take out the U.S. Opens. You've got 7 Tour wins, 8 is a European Tour win, and 2 live events. So he's got 10 wins and 2 majors. That's what Bryson's at right now. Jon Rahm's at 9 PGA Tour wins and 8 European Tour wins. So that's 17 wins and 2 majors. And he just got a live win. So that's 18 wins and 2 majors. So that puts him above Bryson immediately.
Scotty
Scheffler?
He's got 6 this year. Of course,
He
one of those is
does,
the
but
major,
I
which
don't
would net
think he
be
has
5.
collectively that many.
Yeah, because he just started winning. It's like
he's a lot younger than people think he is.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
in his late 20s, but he took off like a comet.
He has 10. Yeah, he has 10 PGA Tour wins and 2 majors.
So it'd be 8 and 2. So he's going to be the same thing as Bryson. It's like it's not about what it could be; it's about what it is. And that's going to be the same thing for Schauffele. Lee.
What about Adam Scott? How do we feel about that?
Now you're getting into.
He's got a lot of worldwide wins.
Yeah, but now you're getting into guys with one. Like, here's another discussion. Who do you think is going to get into the World Golf Hall of Fame? Totally different direction. Dom's going to have a heart attack that I said this. Adam Scott, to me, is 100% in.
Oh, he's got to be in. He also won a Players' Championship, by the way, which isn't nothing.
It isn't, but I'm not sure how to judge it.
He's been the leader of the International President's Cup team since practically its inception.
Well,
and
if
he's
you're
going to end up
if you're
being
going to enter
captain.
that, if you're going to throw that in the mix there, that would change judgment of both Bernhard and Colin.
No, because we're talking about since 97. Bernhard's impact on the Ryder Cup was probably mostly
true.
felt
Yeah, that's
before
true.
97.
Yeah, that'd be true for him.
I mean, it was felt, but it was before. So Adam Scott has 13 wins on the tour, and he's got 10 wins on the European tour. So he's got 23 wins and a major.
Minus the major, so it'd be 22.
No, I took the major out already.
Oh, you did?
So it's 23 and a major.
23 and 1.
Yeah.
And now it comes down to that question of how do you judge? Because we were at the highest, we were looking at Justin Thomas with 15 wins and 2 majors, and again a player, so I'm going to net that out because they both have the same. 15 wins and 2 majors against 23 wins and 1 major. And again, if you use the criteria of 8, add 8 to Thomas's 15, you're at 23 and 2. No, it would be 23 and 1 would be equivalent. They'd have the exact same. That's why this is so difficult.
I know. Number 9, where are we in the list, Andrew? Number 10 or number 9? We're trying to get the last spot.
Yeah.
We're talking about the last spot. Let me ask you a question. We're talking about performance.
Yeah.
Since 97.
Yeah.
Like all-round performance. Would you say that at their very, very best, since 1997, when they were at their best golf in that window of time, was Justin Thomas, Adam Scott, or Bernhard Langer better? Who was the best golfer in that time when they were at their best? Performance on course. I think I would probably say Justin Thomas.
Another
when
name.
You were at like.
I would tend to agree with you on
ahead.
that, but let me throw just another name because you didn't say this one. Retief Goosen. He won 7 times on the PGA Tour. 2 of those 7 were majors, so it nets him down to 5. He won 14 times on the European Tour. I don't know what the net is of those 14 because I'm assuming that those 14 include counting at least those majors. So we already know that he has
so
5.
Has 12. He has 12 others, but another one happened before 97, so it'd be 11.
11 plus 5.
Yeah.
Which would be 16.
So
which would be 16.
I don't think he's on the list.
And he's won 2 majors, Dom. I don't think you can have recency bias. He won the U.S. Open in 2001 and in 2004. And by the criteria that we just laid out, he has more wins than Justin Thomas.
Yeah, but do you think when he was playing at his best, he was better than Justin?
Now you're going to get into a gray area, but I'm going to throw this gray area at you.
Why is it gray area? We're talking about performance inside the ropes.
Yeah, but listen to me. There's mitigating things against that. He won 2 major championships, one of them in the exact same year that Tiger finished off the Tiger Slam, and he won in 2004. He won these events when Tiger was at the absolute peak of his game. Does that count? Should that be taken into consideration? So he's performing at the same time. You've already got Ernie Els on the list at number 6. He's performing and winning at a time when you have Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Vijay Singh, Ernie Els, and Padraig Harrington, for that matter, all with traffic in front of them. 6 guys of 9 that we have named were directly up against this guy that we're saying has a better overall win record in the exact same majors as Justin Thomas. What are the people saying? I'd like to know what their opinion is on this.
The percentages are tightening. 20% VJ, 29% Rory. I know we're past these numbers, but these names was interesting. 29% Brooks, 29% Rory, 20% VJ, 23% right in. The more we discuss it, the more gray area it becomes. I'm thinking JT. Only because of after 97 and that criteria, I think it's got to be JT, another person writes. This is a conversation you need to have in a pub in Ireland. David writes.
Which we have.
Yeah, I'm sure.
This is the kind of stuff I was
Either
talking to
use
Carney about when we
points
were
or
driving
make
around
it
that
subjective. They
coach.
don't mix. I'm not saying it's subjective to talk. We're talking about inside the ropes performance, which includes points and wins, however you want to define that. So I don't know. It's interesting.
There is subjectivity going on here because we're taking wins from other tours and giving them a percentage of what they represent to a PGA Tour or a major. There's definitely formulas being created here on the fly. But I would say that number 10 should be Retief Goosen.
Okay. Let's settle it then. We've been doing this for an hour and a half. We'll settle it there. That's our top 10. Andrew, fill it in. Retief Goosen. There you go. That's our top 10. That's a strong list of golfers, Matt.
Yeah. Now, what's
Final
interesting
question
about
of the
that,
day. Go ahead.
How many of those names are current players and currently in the mix? I'm not talking about like Phil, who's playing. I'm talking about guys that are currently playing, currently winning. Rory, Brooks, Jordan, arguably 3, and then it's a question whether you include DJ or not because he's been off the boil for a while.
Yeah, I would probably say no to that, to DJ. So you're talking about Rory, Brooks, and Spieth. And Spieth has, well, he's still quite young and still in the running for that. He's really been struggling quite a bit for actually quite a while.
He was, but he's playing under, he's still playing under the exemption of being a winner. So that would qualify him of being amongst a winner.
So there's only 3 guys there.
Well, wait a minute. DJ won in Boston. When did he win in Boston on Live? Was that last year?
Yeah, he's won. I think he's won a couple times on Live.
Well, then he'd be on the list. I'd throw him on the list. He's winning where he's playing.
He's hit his 40s now. He's 40 years old, Matt. I don't think I would include.
All right,
DJ.
let me
really
put it
don't.
this way. You look up DJ for me, and I'll ask you a simple question for this criteria. Has he won in the last year? Let's say that.
Yes, on Live.
Okay. Then I'd include him in that.
But in the majors this year, tied 31, 43rd, and 2 missed cuts. Missed the cut at the Open last year. Tied 55th at the PGA last year. Tied 48th at the Masters. I mean, I don't know if off the boil is the right term, but like, he's 40 years old now.
I do feel like this year
we know
he's
he
off
took
the
that
boil,
pile
but-
of money. He went to Live. I mean, I'm not going to say he's disconnected, but I think it's fair to say that he's taken a step back. He's not trying to compete at a crazy level like Rory is still trying to do.
No, but he's not as high up on the list as Rory, or so I wouldn't compare him. I'm not saying that those players are all of equal weight. I'm just saying of the list that we have, how many of them are current active players that are still winning, and we just define winning as within the last year.
Okay, so it's those 4 guys.
It's 4 of the 10, which is interesting that 6 of the 10.
Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Do you think if we bust this list out 10 more years, we'll finish on this? Add 10 more years, the next 10 years to this list.
Yep.
What's the one name?
Bryson.
The one name you will guarantee jumps onto this list 10 years
Bryson.
from now. It's Bryson.
To me, it's
really.
Bryson. Yeah.
You don't think it's Scotty Scheffler? You don't think it's Xander Schauffele? Shuffle.
I don't know how to
So
say
you don't
his name
think it's
now.
Xander? You don't think it's Scheffler? You don't think Justin Thomas could win a few more majors? You think it's Bryson? That's
I think Bryson has the ability to win majors in bunches. And I do believe that the PGA Tour and PIF are going to come together. And I'm not going to give you a source on it yet because I'm not ready to. But I just was going through some really interesting information from people that feel like they're going to ultimately come together, and ultimately they're going to make it possible for players to play in their otherwise off weeks. So that would mean that Bryson would be back playing against the rest of the players on the PGA Tour. And the way courses are set up on the PGA Tour, by and large, that the rough is not, it's not all events, bear in mind, just some of them, I would say the majority of them, that the rough is playable. So the old bomb and gouge. So I think his win total is going to increase. Total. And I think his major championships have the capacity and the ability to do the same. And it does. And if you ask me about where, I would say, okay, show me the list of majors over the course of the next 10 years, and I'd give you my opinion of whether I think he can compete there. I never thought he could compete. Like when we were talking about favorites, you and I never talked about him as a favorite at Royal Troon. Because if you were wayward at Royal Troon, you were done. And he was wayward. He is wayward. But if you can get away with hitting it in the rough and then wedging it out to your target, then he's very much in play. So I would put right now, my instinct is
I never would have
Bryce.
thought you would have said Bryson DeChambeau. That's really interesting.
You would have thought what? I'd say Scheffel.
I know it's
Shuffle?
recency bias, but I think you would have said Xander or Scotty would have been my guess. I think it comes down to Morikawa, Justin Thomas, John Rahm, Scotty Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau, and Xander Schauffele. That's how we said Schauffele. One more time, Andrew. Go to the Callaway video. Last one. He said Schauffele.
Back to back. No, he didn't.
My name is Xander Schauffele.
Everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Just arrived on site at the golf.
Said two different.
One thing we can agree on, Matt.
He just said two.
He absolutely said two different last names.
He said two
there.
different names. That's what I'm
100%.
saying. I'm saying the same thing you said. He said two.
That definitely happened.
Names.
Definitely two different last names from the same dude.
I grabbed this morning. You guys see this? This is the QI10 driver. Make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube. Make sure that you follow us on our social channels, which you can see here. And just make sure you subscribe to those things and get in the running for this thing. Go to our social media. You can see whatever criteria if you forget. But this is what we're giving away. This TaylorMade QI10 driver. What's the loft of this thing? This one's 10.5. Anyway, make sure you run. So I don't know when we're going to give it away. It'll be in the next few days. One of you guys is going to win that thing. All right. Thank you so much for. I was losing my microphone because I'm looking at the equipment. We'll leave you with this as we say goodbye today. Andrew, go ahead and play it again a couple more times. Not in slow motion this time, please. In regular play, back to back. See you guys.
Hey everybody, Xander Schauffele here. Just arrived on site at Le Golf National, ready to defend my gold medal. Hope to see